All right. I'm gonna wait and see if anybody shows up live for class. I'll just give it a minute. No props needed today unless there's something specifically that you would like to make for like modifications and stuff. Maybe if you want, you can have 2 blocks. Actually, yeah, we'll need 2 blocks for class today. Just that, 2 blocks, and then as always, I invite you to have pillows and blankets around in case you want any of that during your quizzes. All right, guys, great. So we'll just go ahead and get started. Let's start off today in any position lying down. So just make your way onto your mat and all the way down onto your back. Once you bring yourself all the way down on the mat, start to extend your feet long, extend your legs long on the mat. Extend your arms long by your sides. And notice what types of thoughts are running through your mind right now. Just start to bring your awareness towards your mind, towards your thoughts, without placing any judgment, any reaction, any attachment on those thoughts. You might even start to describe the types of thoughts you're having. Maybe you're thinking about work, school, what you're going to cook for dinner later. Well, whatever it is, see if you can acknowledge those thoughts with a certain kind of love, with a gentleness and with a patience. And take one last moment with those thoughts and imagine that you can place all of these thoughts running through your mind in a little box. You might even picture that box like a chest or a heart-shaped locket. Imagine placing all of your mental life, all of your worries into this box and place it by the door, side to side. And then bring your awareness now towards your breath. And resist the urge to change your breath in any way. Just notice in this moment how your body chooses to breathe. Again, noticing these things with love, with gentleness. And just knowing that no matter what your breath is doing, no matter where your mind takes you, that all of this is part of the experience. Everything is okay. Anytime your mind wanders, just guide it back with gentleness and patience. And let's take one nice breath together. So empty out your lungs wherever you are. Take an inhale in through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. And return to your natural breathing rhythm. Take a moment now, as your legs are extended long, to connect with the feeling of your heels digging into the ground. You might even rock your feet back and forth, maybe from side to side. And as you gently rock your feet back and forth, finding this connection into the ground, into the mat, see if you can allow the rest of your body to nestle into the ground, to become a little bit heavier. And notice how the earth beneath you, the mat beneath you, is ready to support all of you, all of your weight, all of your thoughts. And throughout this practice, using your breath as a way to stay connected to all of the sensations in your body, to stay aware of when your mind becomes distracted. Let's slowly start to make our way into a seated position. You can turn over to one side. Gently push yourself up. Bring the soles of the feet together, the knees apart, coming into butterfly pose. You're welcome to make this practice more suitable for your own body. And so if you want a more active pose, no props, and try to bring your heels as close to your hips as possible. If you want to make this a more restorative pose, you can place blocks underneath your knees. You can place a pillow or blocks or blankets in front of you, or both. You can bring the soles of your feet further away from you for a little bit less intensity. Wherever you choose to land in this pose, take a moment and just massage your feet for a little bit. Maybe you just wiggle out the toes. Taking one moment to appreciate everything that your feet do for you, carrying your weight all day. And when you're ready, slowly start to walk your hands forwards, folding forwards over your feet. And you can allow your head and neck to relax completely. It may feel nice to place a block in front of you to rest your forehead against. As we continue to relax into this pose, notice if there's any areas of resistance or tension in the body. Perhaps you notice you're clenching your jaw and see if you can soften all the muscles in your face. And let your shoulders become heavy. And check in again with how your body's feeling in this moment. Notice if there's anywhere you can relax, even just 1% more. Where can you release even more tension? Soften your jaw one more time. Relax your forehead, your eyebrows. And if you are starting to feel more intensity in your hips, see if you can breathe into that space. In your own time, on your next inhale, slowly push into the palms of your hands to lift your torso. And extend both of your legs out long into a straddle pose. If you have really tight hamstrings and you want this to be a more restorative pose, you can place some pillows underneath your knees to allow for a bend. If you want a more active pose, just keep your quads slightly engaged and extend the legs out long. And from here, take a couple moments to just rock your hips back and forth, root down in the sit bones, and see if you can become even a little bit heavier into the ground here. Maybe you make gentle circles. Once you feel a nice connection, you're going to turn over to one side. Let's start with the right leg. And let's turn towards that leg. If you want a little bit more active pose, you can take an eagle arm variation here for an extra shoulder stretch. So you can wrap your left elbow underneath your right elbow. Cross the hands into prayer if you can. And then extend the elbows away from you as much as you can. Feel a stretch in the shoulder blades. And then fold forwards over that right leg. If you need a little bit more, you can definitely have some pillows or some stacked up blankets in front of you, especially if you have tight hamstrings. You can also elevate your hips and sit on top of a block or some pillows. So taking what you need here. And if you took the eagle arm variation, you're welcome to relax your face and rest it into your arms or maybe on your leg. Or rest your forehead against a block. And reconnect with your breath here. And anytime we feel intensity, there's a tendency to want to move or react right away. And so if you notice your mind approaching this, see if there's a way you can pause, reconnect with your breath, and breathe into those spaces. Release tension. And if you took the eagle arm variation, you're welcome to unravel your arms and place one arm on each side of your leg. Notice again in moments of transition if you've begun to grip or clench or tense up anywhere. Maybe you soften your jaw again. Relax your throat. And feel the breath in your belly. You can choose to stay here if you'd like. At this time, you can go for a gentle side bend or twist here, bringing your right arm on the inside of your right leg. And starting to twist the chest to face upwards towards the ceiling. Your left arm can reach overhead for a more active stretch, or you can place that arm behind you, resting at your low back. And in your own time on your next inhale, staying as low as you are right now, slowly, very slowly, begin to walk your hands over to the left side. And from here, if you took that eagle arm variation, you can go ahead and wrap your right elbow underneath your left elbow, extending the elbows away from your face. And feeling that stretch in your shoulders again. And you might notice that one side feels more tense than the other. Maybe both sides feel the same. And allow yourself to be curious about your own body, taking each breath, each posture, each moment as an opportunity to learn a little bit more about your body. about your mind and what it's choosing to do in this present moment. Notice again where you may still be holding, gripping, or clenching. And is there a way you can soften even just 1% more? And returning back to your breath, notice if or how your breath may have changed. Maybe you notice the rate, fast or slow. Maybe you notice where you feel it in the body. Low in the belly, high in the chest. And if you took the eagle arm variation, go ahead and unravel your arms. Place one arm on each side of your leg. And check in again with your mind, where your thoughts are taking you. And if you did notice that your mind has wandered, instead of judging or reacting right away, see if there's a way you can just love yourself and be patient about your practice, about all of the busyness of the mind. And then with gentleness, guiding your attention back to your breath, back to the sensations in your body. And if you took that side bend variation, go ahead and allow your left arm to come to the inside of the left leg. And again, reaching with the right arm, twisting the torso to turn up towards the ceiling, or allowing the right arm to rest on your low back. And let's take a breath together here. Empty out your lungs wherever you are. Inhale slowly through the nose. And exhale even slower out the mouth. And relax all the muscles in your face again. Perhaps you even have a very slight smile. On your next inhale, very slowly, walk your hands back to center and push into the palms of the hands to come out of the pose completely. You can place the soles of the feet on the ground and windshield wiper the legs for a moment, or you can just find stillness, whatever feels good. From here, we're going to move into caterpillar pose. So we're going to take our legs extended out long in front of us. If you have really tight hamstrings, you're going to want to place something underneath your knees to allow for a bend in the legs. If you have really tight hips or glutes, you can also elevate and sit on top of a block or a pillow, anything like that. You might also find it comfortable to have a pillow or something in front of you for when you fold over or fold forwards. But when we're in this posture, allow your whole spine to round. So unless you want to make this really active yin pose, in which case you'd want the spine to be straight or maybe even arch. Otherwise, if you want it to be a little more relaxing, restorative, just allow your whole spine to round as you begin to fold forwards. If you're really flexible, instead of keeping your legs and feet close together, allow for a little bit of space, enough for your torso and chest to be able to fit through your legs. And from here, it might feel nice to have a block in front of you to place your forehead against, or a couple pillows, or you can just use your arms. And once you arrive in the posture, whether you're using props, whether you're making it very active, no matter which modification or variation you chose, instead of actively straining or reaching for a stretch, see if you can just trust that over time, your body will relax and release tension naturally. And there's a natural tendency for our mind or our body to start to panic or want to fidget or move when we come into poses that create a lot of intensity. And so just becoming aware of where you feel the tension in your body and seeing if you can pause and practice non-reaction. And see if you can allow your head and neck to hang even heavier. And see if you can let your shoulders be even heavier into the ground. And in your own time, on your next inhale, again pushing into the palms of the hands to lift up your torso. Two options here, depending on what you want for class today. You can come into a puppy pose, so bringing your hips directly over top of your knees, and then letting your chest and upper back sink down to the mat. You can allow your throat to rest against the mat as well for an extra massage there and release in your neck. A second option, if that doesn't feel very comfortable for you today, is to grab two blocks and set them in front of you and come to a kneeling posture, kind of like you're going to go into a child's pose. Sitting your bum on your heels and then placing your hands or your elbows on top of the blocks. Allow yourself to have a roundness in your low back, mainly focusing on opening the shoulders here. And so from here, you can either put your elbows on the blocks, have your palms touch, and rest against your spine, or you can have the arms extended, resting against the blocks. And so a couple of different options here. You can do it sitting like that and go here. Or if you want a little bit deeper, bring the blocks a little closer, place your elbows. Whatever you're feeling in this moment, see if you can allow these feelings to be completely okay. See if you can allow yourself to be completely fine. Maybe even love on all of your feelings and thoughts. Notice again how your breath is in this moment, if and how it has changed. And noticing these things without judgment, with a sense of playfulness and curiosity, learning about yourself in this moment. In your next inhale, go ahead and push into the palms of your hands to lift back into a tabletop. And we'll take a couple mindful moments here. Allow for any movement that comes to mind, any movement that feels good for your body. Maybe you make little circles with the spine. Maybe you arch and round. Maybe you sway your hips from side to side. And staying connected with the breath, even in motion. And make your way all the way on your belly now. When you're ready. And place one palm of your hand over top of the other. Just take a moment here again. Feel the connection of tops of your feet into the ground. Feel the heaviness of your pelvis sinking into the floor. And feel your face resting against your hands, so heavy into the ground. Maybe even imagine your body is made out of stone, swaying into the ground. Where can you nestle and sink even more? When you're ready in your own time, bend your elbows in so that they're directly underneath your shoulders, coming into a Sphinx pose. You can choose to make this more active, drawing your shoulders down and back, and pushing into the ground with your forearms and elbows. Even engaging the hips and pushing the hips down into the ground. Or if you'd like to make this more restorative, more relaxing, you're welcome to relax your head and neck down completely. You can even place something underneath your rib cage or your chest. Helps take some tension off of your shoulders. Wherever you are, and see if you can focus your breath towards your back body. You might start low, sending your breath down towards your lumbar, your low back. And feel the expansion of your belly when you inhale. Maybe now the breath starts to travel up into the base of your rib cage. Notice how your rib cage expands when you inhale and closes when you exhale. Maybe the breath travels up again. Now to your upper back. And feel your shoulder blades separate when you inhale. And feel them ever so slightly come together when you exhale. And now maybe for a couple moments, for a couple breaths, you allow the breath to travel all the way down your low back, all the way up to the shoulders, back and forth. Each breath helping to release tension. Releasing physical tension, mental tension, emotional tension. And on your next inhale, lower your whole body back down towards the mat. And rest the opposite cheek on your hands now. Take a moment to notice how your body feels, noticing any new or old sensations in the body. Noticing again if your breath may have changed, how your body's choosing to breathe in this moment. And when you're ready, in your own time, slowly turning over to lie on your back. Hug your knees in close to your chest so that you're in a tight little ball. Before we find any motion, let's just take one breath together. So exhale, empty out your lungs wherever you are. Take a slow inhale. Feel your belly push against your thighs. And hold at the top here for one moment. Exhale out of your mouth. Now, if your body is calling for it, feel free to invite some motion here, maybe rocking from side to side, maybe making little circles. Or maybe your body is asking for stillness. You can even allow your knees to separate a little. When you're ready, extend your legs long, extend your arms long. And bring your arms so that they're both overhead. Your biceps are hugging at your ears. You can bring your legs so that your feet are touching, your thighs are touching. And take a moment here to again root yourself down into the mat, especially where your tailbone or your butt, or maybe your low back is connecting into the ground. See if you can weigh down in the area of your tailbone and glutes. Keeping your glutes exactly where they are, grab your left wrist with your right hand, and we'll start to move into Bananasana. So imagining that you can make your body curved, bent, arched like a banana. Start to use your right hand to draw your left arm over towards the right side. And again, keeping your glutes in place, walk your feet, your heels, over to the right as well. And find a comfortable max here. So finding a side bend without overly straining or having to actively keep the pose. And once you've found your first max in this pose, And see if you can allow your shoulders, both shoulder blades, to really find heaviness into the mat. If you'd like a little bit more intensity, you can cross your left foot over top of your right. You may feel a little bit more stretch in your left IT band. And soften your jaw once more. Soften your cheekbones. Soften your eyelids. And see if there's a way you can make each and every breath relaxing, rewarding. Imagine that each breath can bring you a sense of ease, of happiness, of healing. And as you relax into this pose, you may find that you're able to take a little bit more space. Maybe you find a new max, walking your legs over a little bit more, bringing your left arm over to the right a little bit more. On your next inhale, uncross your feet, let go of any wrists or any grips, and slowly start to make your way back to center, keeping the arms overhead, keeping the legs extended long. Let's take one breath here to reset, emptying out the lungs wherever you are. Take an easy inhale through the nose. And exhale out of the mouth. When you're ready, Grab your right wrist with your left hand. And slowly start to gently pull your right arm over towards the left, keeping your hips and glutes in place. Walking your heels over to your left side. Finding your first comfortable max. And again, you may notice differences from one side to the other, resisting the urge to judge. Just noticing. And again, if you'd like a little more intensity, you can cross your right foot over top of your left. Guide your awareness again back to your breath. Notice any subtleties. Perhaps you notice the temperature of the air as it moves through your nostrils. Maybe you notice where you feel the breath in the body. A gentle rise and fall in your chest. An expansion in your belly. An expansion in the collarbones. Notice perhaps if you can take a little more space here. Maybe your right arm can reach over towards the left, even just 1 millimeter more. Maybe you're able to walk your heels over towards the left a little bit more. When you're ready, you can Release any grips on your hands. You can unhook your feet, make your way to our final resting pose, Shavasana. Allow your legs to be wider than hips distance. Allow your arms to take up space at your sides. And choosing whatever feels right here. Your legs can be close together. They can be really wide apart. You can place a pillow or a blanket underneath your knees. Maybe place something behind your head. Wherever you find yourself. Let's take a moment to practice a little bit of gratitude. And so let's first find a connection with the ground beneath you. And see if you can take a moment to just appreciate the support and the security that the earth gives you, the mat, the ground. Carrying all of your weight so that no matter how much you let go, you're fully supported. And let's start to breathe into our heart center. And so imagining when you inhale that the breath is coming from the heart center, flowing into the heart center. And if your eyes aren't closed, gently close your eyes. And imagine a bright, glowing light in your heart center. You might imagine this light similar to the sun. Imagine that strength, that intensity, the purity of that light. Imagine that same brightness, that same light already inside you at your heart center. And with each inhale, imagine that light growing even stronger, expanding outwards to your whole body. Maybe you imagine your skin glowing with this powerful light. Maybe you imagine every cell in your body, every thought in your mind lighting up with whatever energy you need more of today. And so that with each inhale, you're inviting in, you're filling up with healing, with love, with strength. And with each exhale, you're releasing something that no longer serves you. Physical tension, darkness, nagging thoughts, self-doubts. Let those go and create even more space for you to inhale in life, light, And keep imagining this light at your heart center growing stronger, brighter, wider, so that this energy is filling up and even overflowing out of your body. The ground beneath you is lighting up, the air around you, in front of you, maybe even your whole room is filling up with this wonderful energy, this beautiful light. And to finish off our practice today, we'll take one last moment. Now I invite you to think of one person, pet, companion, friend, anything or anyone that brings you a sense of gratitude. Could be a stranger that opened and held the door open for you today. It could be your best friend. It could be your pet. Or maybe a place or a memory. And with your next breath, see if you can send this person or place or object a little bit of the light that you've cultivated in you and around you. And you can choose to stay here for as long as you like. Whenever you're ready, we'll slowly make our way up to a seated position. And I thank you for taking the time today to focus on yourself and your body. Thank you so much.